Please put your hands together as I bring up on stage Mr. Obafemi George. He is the CEO of Barachel Global Services Limited. Please put your hands together for Mr. Obafemi George. Make it louder, make it more robust. Louder, louder, louder. You're very welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I like energy. Good afternoon. Thank you very much. I've been privileged by grace for the past 20 years to have played in the high net worth market. My first transaction as a realtor 19 years ago was $500,000 US. And God has kept me along that path. I've made some mistakes, I've learned, but by and large, I've been privileged. And when you enjoy such grace, the tendency is that you get sucked into that vortex of hobnobbing with the high and mighty, those that control the economy, those that control the political space. You get carried away. But I have a friend who every year, he makes sure that he pulls me out and he says to me, Obafemi, what you carry is not for you, it's for people. And he ensures that I find myself, at platforms like this, and I'm forced to speak and share the things that God has done and helped me to do. I mean, the very first time he dragged me to his platform was 2006. He was having a conference on Towing Street, and he said, you need to be a speaker. And he has never looked back. Without him, I wouldn't have been here today. The first time I came to BRG 3 years ago, he was the one that dragged me. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me celebrate my covenant friend of 30 years, Pastor Niyi Adesoya. No, that's not loud enough. May God give you a friend that keeps reminding you of eternity. He is such a friend. And I also want to say a big thank you to the organizers of this conference. I'm not taking this for granted. There's no amount of honorarium you will pay me that would really be worth my while. But giving me this platform to come and speak to thousands, I don't take it for granted. So please help me celebrate BRG. Help me celebrate Dr. Abikoye, Dr. Aspire, Benga Kolawole, Dr. Emmanuel. Please put your hands together for them now. Thank you. So I want to take you on a journey. I like the theme. Close bigger. Close bolder. Bigger and bolder. Bigger and bolder. Now let me ask you, for all of you seated here, how many of you have closed a deal in the last 1 year? It doesn't matter whether it is 1 million. Even if it was your friend that just rented the flat next to you and your fees were just 50,000, you've closed at least one deal. Let me see your hands up. Beautiful. So you're qualified to be in this room. So if you've closed a deal of 100 million the past 1 year, from start to finish, 100 million transactions, let me see your hands up. Fantastic. So if you've closed a deal of 1 billion in the past 1 year, from start to finish, you closed that. 1 billion naira. I'm not prophesying, It's a question. Okay, if you've closed a deal of 10 billion in the past 1 year, it's not a prayer point. Okay, so if you've done a deal of 10 million US dollars in the past 1 year, let me see your hands up. You see, for you to close bigger, it's a mindset. It's an attitude. And it's a journey. I know we live in the world. Sorry, who is timing me? I don't have 45 minutes. Is there any timer? Okay, so when I have 10 minutes left, please let me know. 10 minutes, okay? It's a journey, all right? Give me the next slide. So my question is, how big can you dream? Yeah, we want to close bigger, but how big really can you dream? Because I know we see all sorts on the social media that says no, the economy is bad. Don't listen to them. But this economy is booming. Transactions are happening. Investors are coming in. Forget one political party, what they're saying on online, Tinubu has done this. It's a lie. Things are moving. So I want to challenge you. How big can you dream? How far can you see? Give me the next slide. So I want to challenge you to say in the next 1 or 2 years, you want to earn 1 billion naira as fees. I'm not saying you want to close a 1 billion naira deal. I said you want to earn 1 billion naira as professional fees, as a realtor. So the implication of that is you need to close a 20 billion naira deal. Because, 5% of 20 billion is how much? Is there now? 5% of 20 billion is how much? 1 billion. So I want you to set this as your minimum target. That this is how big you want to go. This is how bold you want to go. You want to dare this. And like I said, it's a journey. So I'm going to share with you my experience, my own journey. Because the reason why I'm here is to let you know that, you know what, it can be done. Don't let figures intimidate you. No big boy was born big. They grew. So for you to hit the target, there are 2 clear paths. Give me the next slide. You can decide to be selling 50 million naira transaction. So there's a plot of land in Bogije, 50 million naira, and they pay you 5%, which is 2.5 million. And it's doable, it's achievable. I'm sure half of you here, you've done 50 million naira deals in the past 3, 4, 5, 6 months. By the time you arouse one uncle in Houston, Egbon, come and buy this plot of land now. He will send you $10,000. Then eventually you get to 50 million. And developer pays you 2.5 million naira. This is a pathway. But remember that your target is 1 billion. So how many 50 million naira deal will you do to get to 1 billion? Give me the next slide. So for you to earn 1 billion as fees, you will need to close 400 transactions. By that time, you'll already become a grandmother. No matter how good you are as a salesperson. Because you know, for you to even convert sales lead to conclusion, maybe ratio 1 out of 10. So you need to do 10 inspections, 10 prospects before you close one. It's a pathway. But let me show you another pathway. Next slide. You can close a 20 billion naira deal and earn your fees. That's why they've brought you here. To close bigger and be bolder. Give me the next slide. I'm rushing because I want to take you somewhere. In case you're wondering and thinking, it's not possible. My last transaction was 18 million US dollars this year. And it's not one governor who is laundering money or whatever. Legitimate by a corporate entity, financed by a bank, seller, buyer, everybody legitimate, clean transaction. And it took us 14 months. But we closed. So I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm not here to motivate you. I'm going to tell you that there's a grace that makes things happen. And there's a pathway to it. And as you can see, I don't have two heads. And it's in this same market. This same Ikoyi VI market. The implication of that is, even Dr. Aspire needs to come and start building in Ikoyi because you need to close for him. Are we talking? Give me the next slide. Next slide. I'm mindful of my time. So I want to share with you 3 steps. Quickly. 3 steps that can deliver such a result for you. Step number 1. Give me the next slide. You need to climb higher and see the opportunity. You see, you can't be fishing in shallow waters and be hoping that you will catch a shark. We are by the waterfront. There's a Lagos Lagoon here. You can't catch shark in this water. It's not possible. You need to swim into the deep waters. So there's a place, there's the height you need to stand for you to be able to attract and to be able to begin to close such a transaction. That's step 1. Step 2. Now, this is the real deal. You need to get the requisite tools that can deliver to you such a transaction. Number 1 is product knowledge. You know, I see a lot of retailers these days. All they are after is agency fees. They don't even know what they are selling. What tax document does he have? I think it's government gazette. They know nothing. And listen, before a client buys into a property, he buys into you first. It's terrible that realtors meet client and it's a client that is educating the realtor. Meanwhile, you're meant to want to be the one educating the buyer. Product knowledge. Take our time and know what you're selling. Know your market inside out. Become an authority in your market. If you wake me up at 2 a.m. and you ask me about Banana Island, I will tell you the first project that was done in Banana Island. I will tell you the developer was. I will tell you the first JV I structured 14 years ago. I will tell you when this one was expanded, who built this, who built that. If there's any change in law, I can tell you off the finger. You need to know what you're selling. Take your eyes off the fees. When you focus on the product, the fees will follow. You need banking knowledge. You don't begin to close deals of billions and you just sit down at the table as a realtor. You know, I finished a major deal and I was in the US. The client was having a party in Houston and introduced me to one of his board members. I said, this is Obafemi George. And the lady said, I've heard about you. This is your agent. The client said, no. This one is more than an agent. This one is an investment banker. And I am not a banker. Why did he make such a conclusion? Because he saw the level of knowledge I demonstrated on that transaction. We will be on Zoom meeting with bank EDs, head of legal. When I'm talking, they listen. Because everything I'm telling them is backed up with facts, with proofs. And that knowledge doesn't drop on you while you are surfing on Instagram. No. You need to pay the price to acquire the knowledge. Legal knowledge. If you're a realtor, you must be a lawyer that did not go to law school. Because I tell people, lawyers kill transactions. I am happily married to one. If you're a lawyer here, I respect you. I am happily married to a lawyer. But I tell my wife, I say, babe, you lawyers kill transactions. So if you're a realtor and you don't have requisite legal knowledge, you see deals that will be passing by your nose like this. I was on a deal and we went to the bank for a meeting. The head of legal of a bank, a major, one of the 3 biggest banks, sat down at the meeting. 2 lawyers from the bank, 2 lawyers from the client side, 2 external lawyers, 6 lawyers in the room. And every legal question they raised, I countered. And I was quoting instances, telling them, no, you are wrong. In 2014, when I did it, this was this. By the time we were done, when we were leaving, one of the lawyers said, Mr. George, I think the only thing left now is for us to just give you a legal certificate. Oh. The bank lawyer fired an email and said, oh, based on our search, blah, 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 this is concerning the title, we cannot move forward. When I saw the email, I laughed. In my next slide, I will tell you what happened eventually. Let me keep that to the next slide. Excellence. Excellence. You want to close a 20 billion naira deal, at least look the path. Look the path. I'm not saying go and borrow suit from Dr. Emmanuel. No, don't borrow his suit. But at least look clean. A month ago, my wife and I were visiting a family friend. And a client called and said he wanted to inspect a penthouse. It was a $3 million penthouse. And I said, okay, I'll be there in an hour and a half. So I told my wife, I said, I'm going. She said, I want to go with you. I said, I'm going home. She said, what are you going home to do? I said, I'm going home to change. She said, you look good like this. I said, no, not good enough for what I want to sell. Went home, put on badass handmade suit. When we got to the venue, my wife was with me. That guy was with us for 30 minutes. He spent 10 minutes commenting on my suit. I'm not saying that put your focus on what you wear. But man, you need to look the part. At your level. You need to look the part. Let everything you do, from the way you write your letter, everything must be excellent. Because you see, at that height, mediocrity cannot come through the door. No, the person that paid you 50 million is different from the person that will pay you 10 billion. No? They are on two different levels. Those guys don't tolerate mediocrity. If there's anything about you, how you do what you do that speaks mediocrity, you lose it. In their heart, they've already shut you out. Next time you call, they won't pick up your call. Excellence. Appearance. Punctuality. I see this a lot in our industry. Mr. George, we want to inspect. This client is coming from Abuja. You'll be there by 2 p.m. And 2:30, you are calling the guy, sorry, Egbo, I'm in traffic. I'm sorry, you can't go far. If a client says 2 o'clock, be there by 1:30. You be the one waiting for the client. You can keep it waiting for 1 hour, but get there before time. If you know you are living in Songwater, leave home at 2 a.m. Lagos traffic is not an excuse. If you don't have a car, you know you have to get Uber. Book for the Uber the night before. Punctuality is non-negotiable. You can lose a major deal by just 2 minutes. I've seen it before. 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. Sorry, the client is gone and the deal is gone. Integrity. Integrity. This one is missing in our industry. This agent wants to shaft this one. You go behind this one to close this deal. You cannot go far. You can't. You can't. See, I've done deals where 2 years after, I call the person and say, bro, that transaction will have closed. And guy is wondering, after 2 years. I said, hey, but you are the one that introduced me. It was your lead. That's how you go far. Don't go behind your colleague. Fees that is meant for 3 people, you alone will collect it and disappear. Then you start picking up their call. And they say, where's my money? You now send them 10K out of 5 million. Oh, yes, I've seen it. I'm talking from experience. This is what I tell young realtors. See, brokerage is like table tennis. You serve, the other person receive. Tomorrow is the one that will serve, and you'll be the one that will receive. So it is what you serve that you will receive. And you see, by the time you are receiving, you're not receiving in the quantity at which you serve. So if you cheated someone of 5 million, by the time you are receiving, it could be 50 million. So if you don't want to lose 100 million tomorrow, don't run away with someone's 2 million today. Once the client pay, call them. Bro, Dr. Aspire have credited me. Send me your account details. I have friends today from Canada, from US. They literally dump transactions on my table because they know that once Obafemi closes, my money will get to me. I don't advertise. Whatever you see on social media, my staff forced me to put something on social media. It's relationship that feeds my business. Either from clients or from colleagues. And it takes investment over the years. It takes integrity. Let me tell you what just happened 2 days ago. Along this line, this Ozumba, by the way, there's a land further down, very close to the former American embassy. Huge, massive land. One of my junior colleagues took me there last year. He said, Egbon, I have this brief. I know you can help me close. I said, okay, how much is it? $35 million. I said, said, okay. So I got a big hotel chain, to come around. They were going to acquire the site to build the hotel. And the conversation went on and on and on, but eventually there was a clause, in the title document. Anyway, that deal collapsed. We couldn't close. When I saw the title document and I saw the family name, the owner is actually a cousin to a client of mine that I've known for 20 years. From the surname I could tell. But I kept quiet. Early this year, I did a major deal with that family. So the CFO said, Mr. George, chairman's nephew, they have this land on Ozumba. Can you help you? So I said, well, a colleague had mentioned it to me. I'm aware. Okay, I'll work on it. 2 days ago, another colleague now called me and said they wanted to move in on the transaction. So I called that colleague. I said, bro, that land you gave to me last year, the family, they are my people. And I've done this level of transaction with them in the past 6 months. They've mentioned it to me. I'm coming back to you because you first mentioned it to me. But because they have also given it to me, I cannot tell them no. But now the dynamics have changed. We will do it together. But it is no longer your primary instruction. It is now our joint instruction. Now, whether we close or we don't close, I've established to the guy I know what you can trust me. So tomorrow, even if he has another deal, he will call me and say, Egbon, closing bigger deal is not by gra-gra. It's not how many things you put on social. No, not at this level. When I talk to young realtors, I tell them, there is nobody that spends $10 million on property that you saw on Instagram. No. That's not where you catch those kind of clients. So you need to learn these principles and begin to work with them. It might not show the first 1 or 2 years, but I bet you 5 years, 10 years, you will sit down and you'll be smiling to the bank. While your mates are still hustling and banging their head. The last one, continuous learning. You must keep improving yourself. I love what God bless you, Dr. Aspire. God bless you, Dr. Kolawole. This is fantastic. That they can pull you together to come and learn, because as you learn, you earn. So as you increase in learning, you increase in earning capacity. 3 months ago, I was in Harvard. In that class of 64, only 2 of us were businessmen that paid us for ourselves. All the other people were sponsored, but either their company paid for them or their government paid for them. It might look unreasonable that why would I spend thousands of dollars to fly all the way to Boston to go and sit down for a whole week in the cold, be learning? Because I know that there's something learning does. The network in that class alone puts me on 5 continents. This one is mayor of Venice from Italy. This one, office of the president in Turkey. This one, minister from Interior, UAE. This one, general in the US Army. This one from office of the presidency, Malaysia. In one class for 1 week. Invest in knowledge. Keep learning. And don't wait until, don't say, oh gee, you can go to Harvard. This is where Harvard starts from. There are courses online that you can just pay $100, $200, and the knowledge, no knowledge is wasted. No knowledge is wasted. Keep on learning. Next slide. How many minutes more do I have? Thank you. Step 3. It's a marathon. Yeah, it's not a quick. It's not a quick fix. You need to develop the capacity to stay there and say, you know what, I'm going to close bigger and I'm going to close bolder. And you stay with it. This is my 20 years on this journey. 21 years. And I've lost a lot of transactions. I have failed. But every failure is a learning opportunity. If you step out of this building right now, the next building you see a high rise coming up. Next door, next compound. Right after that, there's another high rise coming up. 14 years ago, it was just bare land. So the owner of this one, the owner of the next one wanted to buy this one because he wanted to build a big hotel. And a friend of mine who is now a first-class king in Yoruba land is no longer my friend because he has become an Orisha. So he called me and said, Femo. And I was like, we're going to close. But eventually, this one said, no, he cannot sell to that man. Rich people with ego. As in, why will I sell my property to you? That means you are richer than me. Because of ego, we refuse to sell. Now, 2 of them are developing. I lost. I'll give an example. If you come out of this building now, get on Adetuku Adimola, just go straight down. Before you get to the roundabout, there's a high rise on your left. It has a helipad on top. Just when they were finishing, so introduced me to the owner and said, Femo, you can help us close. And we got a buyer. We went, I remember that day, we were standing right on the helipad. And that man called his pastor, called his bishop. There's only one papa in Christian. They say, Papa, I found my office complex. And he put it on speaker, and I could hear that, that's the voice of, And the man prayed and said, favor in Jesus' name. Once he hung up, he turned to us and said, I have $10 million in Access Bank. I can make a down payment within 1 week. The remaining $35 million US, my lawyer is here. I will amortize it. So my partner and I, the owner have agreed to sell for $40 million. This man was willing to pay $45 million. So we're like, oh boy, we don't hammer. So we said, once we close, 2 G-Wagon, you buy one, I buy one. So we took offer letter, went to the owner, thinking that the guy will accept. The guy said, give us 2 weeks. We're like, 2 weeks? Buyer wants to drop $10 million. You're asking we should give you 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, by the time the man replied that letter, he said, no, he's not selling for $45 million. It's now $75 million. I said, Daddy, this is not a Lekki land, though. This is not Lekki land. Because I was like, my G-Wagon just flew out of the window. I said, Daddy, this kind of property, 5 years, you won't get a buyer again, no. Better just collect this. 5 years. The man got angry, reported me to the wife. It beat us. Told my friend, that boy is rude. How can he come and talk to me like that? I was MD of so company in 1987 when he was still in secondary school. The guys, I was like, this man, go and sit down. To cut the story short, I lost the deal. Nine years after COVID-19, 2020, we got another buyer. A junior colleague called me and said, Mr. George, we have a buyer for that your office complex. They're going to fly into Lagos. I said, fly into Lagos. No airline is flying. He said, but don't worry, they have a private jet. They will come in a private jet. Truly, they landed. By the time they showed up, the essay surveyor and valuer who was actually there happens to be a very senior colleague. I said, bros, now you said, Obafemi, you're in charge. I said, yes. I thought it was a done deal. Negotiation started, okay, from 18 billion, went out to 14 billion. As we were discussing, he had already shown me the letter from the bank. Bank already approved the money to buy the property. The chairman of the company died of COVID-19. I'm going somewhere. So this was June 2020. When he died, I was like, I thought this was breakthrough. But it didn't really move me because coincidentally and simultaneously, I was negotiating on another office complex, which is in our portfolio. A friend of mine who's an investment banker in the UK introduced me to this UK company. It's a real estate investment trust company, quoted on London Stock Exchange, quoted in South Africa. Very huge. So they've just raised $250 million, and I wanted to invest it in African real estate. So, of course, Nigeria was their first choice. And they wanted a commercial property that had huge rental income. So I gave them this particular office complex somewhere in Ikoyi. And negotiations started. We're going back and forth from April 2020. By September, October, we agreed on a price. And they sent me a letter from London, 87 million US dollars. I was like, yes, Obafemi, this is it. You have killed this market. Then October 2020, NSAS riot. And I can never forget, as they were burning places in Lagos, burning the court, burning buses, I stood in my sitting room in front of the TV and I was like, these guys are going to pull out. These guys are going to pull out. 27th of October, an email came from London. Dear Mr. George and Demola, we're sorry. The political, economic upheavals in Nigeria, we will not be investing again in Nigeria. We are going to Kenya. When that deal died, that email was 27th of October, 2020. And this is going to take me to my next slide, probably my last slide. And that's actually my main talk for the day. When it happened, I think I went to the office 28, 29, 30th. October 31st, I couldn't go to the office again. I went into depression. I don't know about you. I don't know anybody at my level then that will lose a deal of exam that will not go into depression. I went into depression. I did not go to office until January 2021. So I stepped back and I began to evaluate things. I'm like, what's going on here? I've done 15 years in this. I've done transactions. I've done $10 million transactions. I've done 3 billion, 5 billion. What is going on? Why are these big ones eluding me? And I began to pray. It took me 3-4 years to unlock that new level. Let me tell you something about real estate. See, if you're closing deal of 50, 100 million, and you want to step up to deals of 10 billion, 15 billion, 20 billion, it's like you want to enter an automatic door. You know those doors, the sensor picks you and it opens on its own accord. There are spiritual authorities that regulate transactions. So when you approach those doors and you lack spiritual capacity, the sensor picks that you are not qualified to enter. So that deal will shut you out. Give me the next slide. See, for us as realtors, you must realize that we are trading in the most delicate, most spiritual industry, land. Why is Russia fighting Ukraine? Land. Why is Israel bombing Gaza? Land. Why are herdsmen killing people in Benue Plateau? Land. What are you made of? This flesh, it is the earth. So when you are trading like you are trading in humanity, the spiritual authority that backs land transactions, it's no joke. This is just an interjection. See, when you're about to enter that realm, there must be a why. That your why cannot be because you want to change your car, you want to carry Gucci bag, you want to buy a... No! 3 weeks ago, I went to visit one of my, long-standing clients. So I said, Chairman, what drives you? I said, sir, you single-handedly created Banana Island. You single-handedly created a co-Atlantic city, perhaps the most expensive real estate in South Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa today. I said, at this age, what is your motivation, Chairman? And he looked at me and said, I love to create legacy. That man has been flying private jets since 1984. So this is not new money. Since 1984, 40 years ago, 41 years ago. Ten minutes, okay. Okay, thank you. He said, anything I do, the money is not the motivation. I want to create a legacy. He said, listen, this Lagos Calabar road that I'm building, he said, I knew what that place looked like 4 years ago. He said, but when I go on it now, and as we were talking, in fact, I waited for him like 30 because he went on an inspection of that road, came back in trainers and jeans and t-shirt, 77-year-old man. Multi-billionaire in any currency. He said, my motivation is not money. He said, I'm going to walk till I cannot walk again. He said, when I was building Banana Island, when I built Banana Island, nobody was building. He said, so I went there and I built Ocean Parade. He said, and I told my friends that I will build luxury apartment. And my friends said, Nigerians will not live in flats. He said, I told them, I've seen Nigerians in France, I've seen Nigerians in New York, I've seen them in London. They need properties where they don't think about swimming pool, they don't think about generation, they don't think about security. And he created it until today, it's still selling. So I'm asking you, what's your why? What's your why? When I'm chasing transaction, it's not because I want to change a car or I want to that. I've left that level long ago. My motivation is the gospel. I want to see lives changed. "30 years ago, I could have died in Lasso. Pastor Nee knows my story. I was a court boy in Lasso. My friends were killed in Lasso. Then a pastor came, Reverend Sam Adeyemi, and he came to preach the gospel, and I got born again. And that's why I'm standing here today. So when I'm making money, I'm thinking, which crusade can we fund? Which ministry can I put money into? That's my motivation. It's not what to wear. So what's your why? Because if you cannot answer the why that is beyond material things, you can't step into that realm. Give me the next slide. See, when you I was telling you how I lost transactions and how I began to pray in 2020. As I began to pray, one day the Spirit of God said to me, he said, the reason why what you've known for 15 years have stopped working is because the syllabus has changed. He said, you've been closing deals with wisdom, with strategy. He said, but we are no longer in the age of wisdom and strategy. We are in the age of power. And he said, because you lack the requisite power, that is why those deals are shutting down in your face. I know we're in a real estate class. Maybe someone else can come and tell you how they closed. But I'm telling you with facts and evidence. It's because this is a live, event. People are watching the recorder. I could have been mentioning names and properties. When you ascend that realm, it's a spiritual journey. I learned by fire. The past 4.5 years for me. But I could see the result. I will go, you see, you must understand that at this realm, the people that are controlling the economy, that are controlling the political space, there is something backing them. There's someone backing them. It is either light or darkness. So when you come into that space and you want to do business with them, they'll go and engage you. They'll go and check you out and say, no, we can't. Our altar cannot deal with his altar. So you need to ascend to a particular height that makes the altar bow to you. That whether they like it or not, they will do the deal with you. Do you know how many times I wake up in the night and I will carry offer letter and title documents and brochure of a transaction and I'll put it on the floor, 12 midnight. And I begin to go rapatipo sapaleke parata. Come on. And I will look at it and say, lift up your head, O you gates of Banana Island. Be lifted up, O you everlasting doors of Ikoyi. Blessed is Obafemi George that comes in the name of the Lord. Lagos is the Lord and the fullness thereof. And he has given unto me to possess. He said, whatever the source of my feet shall tread upon. When I wake up 8 a.m. in the morning and I show up for the meeting, I didn't come alone. No, someone is backing me. I walk with God the Father, walk with God the Son, walk with all the Holy Spirit, 3 of them join. I get backing. Oh, I know they come alone. You cannot be pursuing a deal of 20 billion and 12 midnight, you're on Netflix. Your deal will be caught in the net and you will be able to fix it. Because the people you want to deal with, you are contending with, they have altars speaking. it a joke? My close friend and prayer partner, he did a project here, a $300 million project. They almost killed him. He abandoned it. His driver resigned. One of his drivers ran away. When he saw spiritual attack, the guy took off. See, you don't close this kind of deal with lipstick and Peruvian wig. No. Apologies, ladies. It's good to look good. But before you wear the wig, wear the anointing. This is a business class. So we're talking business. But at this level, business is 100% spiritual. And you see, there are specific weapons for different battles. You will confront a transaction, you will pray. You will be on a deal, you will pray, and you realize that this thing is not moving through. Pull down another weapon of fasting, add it to it. If the weapon of fasting is not working, make it dry fast. I say this with all sense of humility. Last year, I was on a tough transaction. And I knew I was contending with forces because I knew the people involved. And I'm not saying this to impress you or to scare you, but just to make you realize that there's a price for everything. This grace doesn't just drop on your lap. I did the first 21 days dry fast. Dry 21 days. No food, water alone. The deal didn't go through. Following month, I repeated another 21 days. The deal did not go through. 31st of July, I was praying. And the word of the Lord came to me from Isaiah 55. He said, come ye that thirst. Don't buy with money. And the Spirit of God says to me, there's a price to pay. I will give you the grace and the favor of David. Begin to pay the price. That day started my 40 days dry fast. No food. First 3 days, no food, no water. Day 4, water to day 7. Day 7 to day 40. Tea in the morning, tea in the evening. You think this is a joke? Guess what? Every knee on that deal, they bowed. When we finished, the MD of the company, I sat down in her office and she looked at me. She said, Mr. George, in fact, she stopped calling me, she started calling me Pastor Obafemi. She said, P.O. I said, I'm not a pastor. She said, no. She said, this deal, you don't know what has gone down. She said, if you know the number of big men who have showed up, that somehow, something pushes them away. I smiled. I said, it's not something that pushed them. It is someone that pushed them away. She said, the hand of God is on this. I said, no, the hand of God is on me. You want to close bigger? You want to close bolder? It's time to go spiritual. When you arrest transactions in the spirit realm, things will fall in line physically. You will be shocked. I was on a particular transaction that I was explaining before, and the bank was creating problems. The email I was talking about. When the email came and I saw it, I looked at what the bank lawyer was referring to, the head of legal. So I called my staff in the office. I said, go and check our file. you will see a letter from so bank where they appointed us as the lead agent in 2015. I said, you will see another letter from this SAN, who is now former Attorney General. You will see this document. By the time the guy put together the documents, and I sat down and I fired the bank an email, copied everybody. I said, number one, your conclusion is wrong. 2015, we were appointed on this same transaction. Find attached, number one. Number two, so lawyer, SAN, former Attorney General. We did it with him. Letter, find attached, number two. When I listed the 4 documents, pride wanted to set in. But, Obafemi Ole. Then I remembered that there was no way, humanly speaking, I could have orchestrated an event 10 years before with documents that will help me close a deal 10 years after. That is supernatural. If you're going to fly on this level, you must ensure that divinity is backing up your humanity. So that your usual activity becomes an unusual testimony. But there's a price to pay. But once you pay that price, man, this grace is sweet, oh. You will sit down, I sit down at meetings at times and I speak. And everybody keeps quiet. Professionals keep quiet. And I know in my knowing that, no, there's someone speaking through me. So my question is your altar speaking? Is your altar speaking? Because you all could get excited. Are you willing to pay the price? You want to close a deal of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 billion? The person buying, do you know the source of his wealth? The person selling, do you know the covenant he has made with different entities? You not just want to show up and just come and cream out with nobody backing you. I'll share this one last story, then we'll pray. I was involved in a transaction. I wanted to do a project somewhere on the mainland, like 12, 13 years ago. And I got an investor. I got someone to invest in it. And somehow, 1, 2, 3 years, it just wasn't working. So one of my aburos, that Pastor Nee knows very well, who develops around that area, he now came to me and said, Egbon, I met with KBS's chief, that he told me that he knows that your Egbon is trying to do a project there, that the man confided in me that he was actually the one that they've done 7 sacrifices on that land, that when we are ready to close, he will take us to the spot where they buried cows, 7 different spots. I said, boy, I'm not interested. As I speak to you, that land is still there till today. Nothing on that land. When I do deals, I boast. I tell them that I walk with God the Father. I walk with God the Son. I walk with the host of angels. All of them back together. Do you need backing? Do you need backing? Rise up on your feet. I want you to dedicate your business to God. I want you to rededicate your company to God. I want you to tell God that your company today becomes an altar. I want you to dedicate your business to say this my business becomes a platform. Because when I come back here next year, you must add at least 3 zeros to what you're doing. If you're doing 6 zeros, it must become 9. If you're doing 9, it must become 12 zeros. So I want you to begin to just dedicate that business to God. And if there are any projects you are doing right now, either construction you're trying to sell for someone, just place it before the altar. I say with all sense of humility, I'm a witness in the marketplace. God has taken me through a journey to prove that the same anointing that raises the dead closes deals. And peradventure, there's one or two of you that's already going the other way, using dark powers for transactions. You're already going to clients' properties to go and pour down stuff. Today, God shows you mercy. Today, God shows you mercy. I'm talking to that person. You know, I know in my spirit that one or two of you, you're already engaging with the wrong power to close deals. Today, the mercies of God speaks for you. The mercy of God speaks for you. Peter said, such as I have, I give unto you. He has taken me through a path. And I know beyond reasonable doubt, which proves that I carry grace to close deals. And I stand here today and I stretch my hands towards you. The God of my secret place. Because in life, you either have a secret altar or you belong to the secret court. I come in the name of the God of my secret place, the maker of the heavens and the earth, the one who was, who is, and who is to come, the one who made all things, who gives up, the one who lifts and he pulls down. And I speak over your business. I say, go forward. I say, go forward. I say, go forward. I say, be enlarged. I say, be enlarged. Grace will work for you. Grace will work for you. Grace will work for you. The same way doors open for me, doors will open for you. The favor that I enjoy, that makes the high and mighty open their doors and say, Obafemi, sit down. Today I release such favor upon what you do. Kings will favor you. Kings will favor you. I say kings will favor you. I say kings will favor you. I speak to that business enlargement. This is the beginning of the second half of the year. And I speak to your business, whatever sales target that you have written down for the year, may my God give you 10 years in 1 year. Speed is a possibility in the spirit. That it can give you speed and you will outrun your competitors at a shorter time. So therefore I speak to you today. I said, may the speed of God rest on you. May the speed of God rest on that project. May the speed of God rest on that transaction. You will catch up. You will overtake. You will outrun. You will outpace. In the name that is above every other name. Peradventure, the deeds you are doing, the projects you are doing, they've buried some things there that is limiting that transaction, that is limiting that project. It is written that at that name, every knee shall bow, of things in heaven, of things on earth, of things underneath the earth. I speak to every knee. I address every forces, everyone standing here, watching me online that is into real estate. I said negative powers confronting what you do. In the name of Jesus, they bow. 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 Whatever has been buried in the land, I neutralize it. By the authority of heaven. Go forward. Go forward. In Jesus' mighty name. God bless you all.
I can never come back. It's already too late. So it won't make sense. So that's what I'm going into. It's already too late. So I've already come too far. It's already too late. So we will spend the billions.
We'll spend the billions.
We will spend for Jesus.
We'll spend for Jesus.
We shift the culture. We heal the sick.
We heal the sick.
We will raise the
We
dead.
will raise the dead.
Transform the nations.
Transform the nation.
We hear well done.
We will heal well
We
done.
will burn the
We will
world.
burn the world.
We will spend the billions.
Spend the billions.
We will spend for
We'll
Jesus.
spend for Jesus.
We will shift the culture. We will heal the sick.
We will heal the sick.
We will raise the dead. Transform the nations.